Do you know what the absolute hardest part of healing is? It isn't learning new habits. It isn't buying a new planner for the new year. It isn't figuring out what to add to your life. The hardest part, the part that keeps most people stuck in the same cycle year after year, is finding the courage to cut away what has been quietly destroying you. We are approaching 2026, and for many of you, this year feels heavy before it has even begun. You are carrying baggage that wasn't yours to begin with. The ancient Stoics understood a concept called via negativa, improvement by subtraction. They understood that freedom isn't about getting more. It's about letting go of what is crushing you. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, had everything a human could possibly want: unlimited power, vast wealth, and an empire at his feet. Yet he sat alone in his tent at night, writing to himself, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Think about that. The most powerful man in the world had to remind himself that happiness was an inside job. And here we are, still carrying grudges from 3 years ago, still checking our phones for validation from people we don't even respect, still dragging around relationships that stopped feeding our souls a long time ago. If you have been feeling that weight, that quiet voice whispering that something needs to change, then this is for you. You're tired of the noise. You're tired of pretending. So, let's talk about what actually needs to go. 1. Cut the opinions of people who don't walk your path. We need to start here because this is the chain that holds most people down. For years, you have been carrying the voices of other people around in your head like they're gospel truth. The doubters, the critics, the family members who still treat you like the child you were 10 years ago, refusing to see the adult you have become. You have been living your life on a stage, performing for an audience that isn't even paying for a ticket. You adjust your choices, your career, and even your personality just to avoid their judgment. But ask yourself, are these people happy? Do they have the peace you want? Do they have the life you're trying to build? If the answer is no, then their opinion is irrelevant. Epictetus said something that will either set you free or make you angry. He said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Be content with it. Let them think you're crazy. Let them think you're changing too much. That is the point." The version of you that is trying to emerge in 2026 will not make sense to the people who were comfortable with the old you. They will have opinions. They will say you are different now, as if that is an insult. It isn't. It's a compliment. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your evolution. This year, the only person you need to make sense to is yourself. Stop performing for ghosts. 2. Cut the illusion that you have endless time. Number 2 is the most dangerous lie we tell ourselves. I have time. We all do this. We act like we are immortal. We tell ourselves we can start that business next month. We can have that difficult conversation next year. We can fix that broken relationship when we are ready. We treat time as if it is a cheap, infinite resource. Seneca watched people waste entire lifetimes waiting for the right time to live. He wrote a famous essay on the shortness of life, and he didn't hold back. He said, "It is not that we have short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Think about the things you have been putting off, the apology you need to make, the forgiveness you need to grant, maybe to yourself, the dream that scares you, the boundary you should have set months ago. Why are you waiting? Do you think 2027 is guaranteed? Do you think next week is promised? What if you treated 2026 like it actually matters? Not in a panicked, anxious way, but in a "this is real" way. Because time does not wait for you to be ready. It doesn't care about your excuses. It just moves. and you've been giving your days away to things that do not deserve them, scrolling, worrying, hesitating. Stop waiting for someday. Someday is expensive. Someday is a place where dreams go to die. 3. Cut relationships that require you to shrink. Number 3 is painful but necessary. You need to cut the relationships that require you to be small. You know exactly who I am talking about. As soon as I said that, a face popped into your head. The friends who dim your light because your shine makes them feel insecure. The partners who claim they love you, but make sarcastic comments every time you try to improve yourself. The people who need you to stay stuck so they can feel superior. Maybe it is the friend who always makes every conversation about their drama. Maybe it is the peer who teases you about your ambition. Marcus Aurelius wrote this for himself, but it is a directive for you too. Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. And being good to yourself means not apologizing for outgrowing people. It is a natural law of life. As you grow, your circle will shift. It has to. If you're climbing a mountain, you cannot hold hands with people who want to stay at the base camp. It doesn't mean you hate them. It doesn't mean you judge them. It just means you cannot stay there with them. This isn't about cutting people off with cruelty or creating drama. It is about honoring your own growth. Some people are meant to be in your story for the whole book. Others are just meant for a chapter. And when the chapter is done, you have to turn the page. 4. Cut the need to control what you cannot change. How much of your energy in 2025 was burned into ash trying to change things that were never yours to touch? How many nights did you lose sleep trying to force an outcome? Trying to make someone love you? Trying to control what people say about you? Trying to steer the chaos of the world? It is exhausting. It is like trying to hold back the ocean with your hands. Epictetus gave us the ultimate blueprint for sanity, which he called the dichotomy of control. He said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." Your power is limited to a very small circle: your choices, your attitude, your effort, your character. That is it. That is the list. Everything else, their opinions, the economy, the traffic, whether they stay or go, that is not yours. When you try to control the external world, you become a slave to it. If you need your partner to change for you to be happy, you are their slave. If you need your boss to validate you for you to feel worthy, you are a slave to your job. Cut this need. Let go. Seriously, drop the rope. Not because you are giving up, but because you're finally smart enough to focus on what you can actually shape: yourself. That is where your real power lies. When you stop trying to control the storm, you can finally focus on steering your own ship. 5. Cut the old stories you tell yourself. Number 5 is the invisible enemy. You need to cut the outdated stories you tell yourself about who you are. We all have a script running in our heads. For many of you, that script was written years ago, maybe by a parent, a teacher, or an ex. It sounds like, "I'm just not a disciplined person. I always mess good things up. People always leave me. I'm too damaged to be loved. It's too late for me to start over." But here is what the Stoics knew. You are not your past. You are not your trauma. You are not the voice in your head that tears you down. Seneca put it perfectly. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Most of your pain comes from this narrative you keep repeating. You tell yourself you are shy, so you stay quiet. You tell yourself you are broken, so you sabotage happiness. You think this story is the truth, but it isn't. It's just familiar. It's comfortable in a sick way because it keeps you safe from the risk of trying. What if you let that old story die with 2025? What if you stopped introducing yourself by your wounds? What if you gave yourself permission to be someone new? Not perfect, not healed overnight, but different, evolving, free. You're the author. You get to rewrite the character. The pen is in your hand. 6. Cut the belief that peace is something you find. Finally, number 6. You must cut the belief that peace is a destination you will arrive at one day. We live in a win-then culture. When I get the promotion, then I will be happy. When I find the perfect partner, then I will feel secure. When I move to a new city, then I will have peace. You have been searching for the right external condition to fix your internal condition. But Marcus Aurelius, again, amidst the wars and the plagues and the betrayals of Rome, kept reminding himself, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Peace was never out there. It was never in the bank account. It was never in someone else's approval. It isn't hiding in 2026. It is here, right now, in how you think, in what you choose to focus on, and how you speak to yourself. Peace isn't a place you arrive at. It is a practice you commit to. It is choosing over and over again to come back to the present moment, to accept what is while working toward what could be. Stop searching for it like it's a lost set of keys. Start creating it like it's a work of art. It has been inside you the whole time. The Stoics didn't promise you an easy life. They didn't promise that if you follow these rules, the world will suddenly become fair and kind. They promised you something better. They promised you reality. They promised you that you could be strong enough to handle whatever comes. You already know what needs to go. As I spoke through these 6 points, things came to your mind. Names came to your mind. Habits came to your mind. You have known for a while. The intuition has been there, waiting for you to listen. So, let 2026 be the year you finally listen. Let it go. Not perfectly. You will stumble, you will look back, but do it honestly. Because the version of you waiting on the other side of that baggage, the version of you that is lighter, stronger, and free, that person is worth fighting for. Cut the dead weight. Stand up straight. And walk into this new year with your hands free to build something new. If this message reached you, I'm glad you are here. If you're ready to build a stoic mind, subscribe. No fluff, just truth. I will see you in the next one.